Hello my fellow Christian fiction lovers, welcome to another video. Today is the 30th of December, which means this video is going to be posted tomorrow on the 31st, the last day of 2021, and I am going to be going over my 2021 reading year, all the different stats, and Goodreads has your 2021 year in books. I've kept some personal stats. I've also kind of kept up on this new program called Storygraph that gives some more in-depth statistics of your reading preferences, though I don't fully agree with everything on their algorithm with how they classify books. But we're going to go over it all, and I'm going to share it with you because a lot of my reading life and habits are reflected on my YouTube channel throughout the year, so I think it could be kind of fun to kind of just go over it with you guys, and you can guess or make predictions on what you think it will be based on what you know about me and my reading through my videos. And yeah, that's it. We're just gonna get into it. So we're gonna start with Goodreads because they do the 2021 year in books. I did look at it yesterday, but I didn't really absorb it and soak it in. Okay, so my goal for 2021 was to read 60 books, and I have ended up reading 73. That is including the book I'm reading now. I do plan to finish it by tomorrow. The shortest book I read was The Wizard of Oz, which was 154 pages. I'm surprised by that. I thought I might have read a shorter novella, but I guess I didn't. And then the longest book, I'm not surprised by this one, is The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. I picked this book up and I did not put it down. I read it on my plane ride back from America this summer, and it was such a good book. My average book length is 365 pages. That feels accurate. 350 pages to 450 pages is my ideal book. My most popular book, no surprise here, is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This is a super popular book, and I did finally read it this year. 2.6 million people also shelved it. Does that mean this year 2.6 million people also shelved it? And then the least popular book I read was actually the last book I read, and that is Muhammad's Moon by Keith Clemens. 85 people also shelved this book. I was given this book and its sequel, which I'm currently reading, for my birthday. My mom and sister went to this special apple festival, something in North Carolina, and they actually got to meet the author himself, and he signed these books, and they got them for me, and they're pretty good. I liked the first one well enough. It's not my typical style of book, but it was pretty good considering what it was about. Average rating for 2021 was 4.2 stars. I gave out 4 stars like free candy this past year, and this coming year, 2022, I'm going to try and get a lot better about not just handing out 4 stars so freely, because I would rate one book 4 stars, and then the next book I'd be like, well, I'm also gonna give it 4 stars, but it's just it's not as good. For some reason 3 stars scared me. I don't know why. Anyway, we're gonna get better with that. I'm gonna get better with that. The highest rated book I read on Goodreads was Between the Wild Branches by Conlon Cassette. Not surprised, Conlon Cassette writes some amazing books, and Between the Wild Branches is her latest release, so it's kind of still getting out there. It's only been out for half a year, and I really, really want to see Conlon Cassette take off even more this coming year. She hasn't announced that she's releasing a new book in 2022 yet, but I'm really, really hopeful. I really want some more amazing books from her. Uh-oh. Well, you could hear puppy leaving. Okay, so that's everything on Goodreads. I am now going to go to Storygraph. And Storygraph is this new program that I learned about on TikTok. It's basically trying to be the new Goodreads, and I use both Goodreads and Storygraph. I cannot fully get rid of my Goodreads account because it is just amazing. Goodreads is reader social media basically. And Storygraph is so new, and it's not as well put together as Goodreads, but it's getting there. It's still new. It doesn't have as much attention as Goodreads. I really want more people to use it, because the more people that use it, the more money the website creators make, and then they can make it even better, because right now it's very basic. So anyway, this is not an ad for Storygraph, but please do go check it out. Storygraph gives you very in-depth stats of your reading life. So I'm just kind of gonna go over all of it with you, and hopefully that'll make sense. They just do pie charts, and maybe I'll like take a screenshot of some of this and put it up on the screen. Okay, so Storygraph is saying that I've only read 71 books this year, which is fine because they don't count the DNFs as read books, whereas Goodreads, they don't have a DNF option, and that makes complete sense. Honestly, I wish Goodreads did have a DNF option. So the moods of the books that I read this year is 47 emotional, interesting, 28 reflective, 12 mysterious, 7 informative, 7 dark. I really want to dig into these statistics because again, see, like some of the books that they're counting as dark, I would not count dark. 7 adventurous, 6 sad. There were way more than 6 books that I read that were sad. 4 tense, again, more than 4. 4 lighthearted, yeah, it's maybe a little more than 4, but I don't read a lot of lighthearted stuff. 4 hopeful, 4 challenging, 1 inspiring. What's the 1 inspiring book I read this year? Oh, the nonfiction by Max Lucado. And then the last one, 1 funny. What was the 1 funny book I read? Northanger Abbey, they're considering that funny. Again, this is why I don't fully agree with Storygraph's stats. Okay, so this is my pie chart for pace. 47% medium, 29% slow, 24% fast. I wonder what books they said were fast. Page number, obviously the page number one has to be accurate. So 300 to 499 pages, 84%. Less than 300, 14%, and 500 plus, 1%. Not surprised. It's not that I'm scared of bigger books like more than 500 pages, but it takes a lot of commitment that sometimes I don't want to commit to a bigger book. Okay, then we have fiction versus nonfiction. 96% fiction, 4% nonfiction. I'm gonna get better at that in the new year. Tomorrow I'm gonna release a video with my 2022 reading goals, and you're gonna hear how I'm gonna be better with reading nonfiction. And then we have the genres. I cannot fit these all in a screenshot, but basically I read 42 historical books, 12 romance, 7 young adult, 4 mystery, 3 classics. We all know what 3 classics those were. 3 fantasy, 3 contemporary, 2 children's, 2 thrillers, 2 religion. I think they mean religious nonfiction. 2 literary. What literary fiction did I read? Oh, Where the Crawdads Sing in American Music. Both phenomenal books. 1 race, 1 play. What does play? Oh, like a stage play. Macbeth. 1 memoir, 1 history. What was the history book I read? See, but I would count that as historical fiction, not. And 1 biography. Whose biography did I read? Oh, I read, that's a memoir. I read The Honey Bus, and that is a memoir, not. Memoir and biography, kind of the same thing, I guess. Oh, and then my most read authors. This is gonna be fun. So, no surprise here, my most read author was Conlon Cosette at 7 books. I think I read all of her books this year. And then Tracy Peterson at 4 books, Jessica Dada at 3. Okay, then this is like probably my favorite chart because it's one of the most accurate. So I'm going to take a screenshot and show it to you guys. So this chart shows you the number of books you read, plus the number of pages you read in like a line chart. So it's like number of books on the y-axis and months on the x-axis. So my most read month was June with a total of 12 books. It was actually 13 books. I guess they just counted one of them in July for some reason. And 4,103 pages read. My least read month was July and December tie at 3 books. But December, I have the least read pages at 1,086. Okay, so those are my online statistics with Goodreads and Storygraph. Again, please go check out Storygraph. It's such a cool site. But then I also kept my own like paper copy of all of the books I read, I guess. So each month that's not part of it. Each month I created a little chart, or not a chart. Each month I created a little sheet and I titled it like January 2021. And then I wrote each title and then my star rating. And if it was a 5 stars, you can see here, I highlighted it, and then what I did was I basically had at least one 5-star read every single month, or like very close to a 5-star read. And what I did is I took each of my favorite from each month and I made a little bracket chart. That's probably not what it's called, but like, you know, March Madness style, the brackets, just one side of it. And I wrote the favorite and then got to my 2021 book of the year, which was Under the Magnolias by T.I. Lowe. This was very hard. It was a big tie between The Paris Dressmaker and Under the Magnolias, but personally, like, my personal appreciation of Under the Magnolias was higher than for The Paris Dressmaker, so I let my emotions guide me for that one. So that is my 2021 year in books, my 2021 reading stats, however you like it, however you want to say it. Again, I will be coming out with a video tomorrow. I know I don't normally post on Saturdays, but I want to get it out on the first of the year, my 2022 reading goals. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to try and react to it and see if I filled all of them. I would have done that this year, but I didn't get serious into Christian BookTube until about like March or April of this year. So anyway, that is the video. I would love to know some of your personal stats from 2021 reading. Drop your recommendations for 2022, and yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for my reading goals video. Until then, bye.